This is John Paul Wright. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, and as you guys might or might not know, there is an all-female Pirates of the Caribbean sequel planned with Margot Robbie, and I got an article that isn't too confident that that's going to do so well, and that Disney is not so confident in Robbie anymore, and you know what? I don't think they should be. How the heck can you replace Johnny Depp with Margot Robbie? She's not a terrible actress, but to me, personally, she's incredibly average. Let's take a look. What the Suicide Squad's box office means for Margot Robbie's POTC reboot or Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. Will the Suicide Squad's box office underperformance cause Disney to lose confidence in Margot Robbie's proposed Pirates of the Caribbean reboot? The Suicide Squad underperformed at the box office in its opening weekend, calling the future of star Margot Robbie's Pirates of the Caribbean reboot into question. The Pirates of the Caribbean franchise was never expected to be a massive money spinner, but after The Curse of the Black Pearl proved a huge hit upon release in 2003, the series soon became one of cinema's most financially successful properties. 2017's Dead Men Tell No Tales earned about $800 million and was considered a series underperformer to contextualize the sheer size of the series. Yeah, I mean, $800 million is a pretty huge amount, so for that to be the low end, that's pretty darn good. Although Disney seemingly attempted to replace Pirates of the Caribbean with Jungle Cruise, the franchise's massive fandom does not seem to be flocking to this new action-adventure comedy at the same rate as the earlier series. That's a huge no shit there. I don't know what that is. It doesn't sound interesting. Once again, it sounds like some random, average thing that I'd have no interest in. If Johnny Depp was in it, I'd take a look, absolutely. But the way it is now seems like an easy thing to pass on. This may mean the studio will now need to rely on the proposed Margot Robbie starring Pirates of the Caribbean reboot to salvage the franchise. However, now the underperformance of Robbie's own outing, The Suicide Squad, could call this plan into question too. After the relative underperformance of 2020's Birds of Prey, the question of whether one of the most expensive franchises in cinema history should be reliant on Margot Robbie, anti-heroine, is once again up for debate thanks to Suicide Squad's less than ideal haul. Again, a really easy question to answer. If you want a reboot of a series where you have a legendary actor, you at least need a legend to take that place. Now, no one can take Johnny's place, but to have a chance at it, even a chance of mild success, you need a legend in there. Or, of course, you need Johnny himself. I mean, if you're going to reboot it without him is what I'm saying. Don't get confused. They can't have someone like Margot Robbie who is, again, just dead average. But that's my silly little opinion. The Suicide Squad earned only $26.5 million in its opening weekend compared to the $133 million opening weekend of its 2016 predecessor, a massive gap that even the ongoing you-know-what pandemic could not entirely account for. Margot Robbie's Pirates of the Caribbean reboot had until recently been mooted as the project that would allow the series to move on from former star Johnny Depp, but this is looking increasingly unlikely thanks to Suicide Squad's underperformance. I gotta say, what kind of an idiot would think that you can move on from Johnny Depp with Margot Robbie? Well, I guess some of the people working up there at Disney. So, I'm no box office guy. Once in a while, I check them out, of course, and I even know that $26.5 million on opening weekend from $133 million is pretty darn bad. Now, I gotta say this. Screen Rant, I've been trying to figure out where they stand. I think ultimately they are not quite on the side of Johnny, but on the other hand, they have to be realistic about the reports because they try to be factual a lot of the times about how movies are going to perform, the audience turnout, the box office. And they've got a really long article about how they think Pirates of the Caribbean just cannot succeed unless it has Johnny Depp. And they also go on to say that if it doesn't have him, it's not possible in any way for it to succeed. I wanted to cover that article, but it's like 8 pages, so I couldn't quite get around to it, and I could pretty much sum it up here that Screen Rant is becoming a little bit of Justice for Johnny now. So hopefully, if Virginia can work out, then Screen Rant can fully get on board, and we'd have one more site that's on our side. Now, as far as Margot Robbie, I don't know much about her. I just know I've seen her in some movies, and she's not horrible, she's not great, but she's nowhere near the level of Johnny Depp. It's a world away. So to think that she could come in and replace him seems like a pretty shitty bet to me. That's one bet I wouldn't take. You guys let me know what you think down below. Shout out to Cindy Bryden and Carla Ellis. They've been sending me articles like crazy. Thank you so much. Also, shout out to Zach. He's a member here. He's been dropping comments all the time. Gotta get to more shout outs, but there's 3. So we'll get to it. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. I'm doing shout outs, special thanks, things like that. Pop culture, celebrity news, Depp First Heard. And if you're not subscribed and you don't subscribe, well, I guess it'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.